policing.
We want human rights policing.
I don't think in 2025 we should be hearing the same excuses that you need data storage infrastructure. We need clear timelines, and the Prime Minister is wearing blue. I hope that the blue is also solidarity with the people who are here today, the victims who are here today, saying that my son was killed at the hands of the police state.
Let's meet our force, less fatalities.
Let's meet our force, less fatalities.
Can't break the law if you uphold the law.
Can't break the law if you uphold the law.
Can't break the law if you uphold the law.
Can't break the law if you uphold the law.
When anybody wants cameras, them dead.
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 24 kills, no weapons.
24 kills, no weapons.
Where are the body worn cameras?
Where are the body worn cameras?
What do we want?
Justice.
Where are the body worn cameras?
Where are the body worn cameras?
We want human rights policing.
We want human rights policing.
Less lethal force, less fatalities.
Less lethal force, less fatalities.
107 dead in 119 days.
107 dead in 119 days.
10 mentally ill killed in 2024.
10 mentally ill killed in 2024.
Where are the body worn cameras?
Where are the body worn cameras?
God which is with them. All vengeance belongs to God. All vengeance belongs to the Lord.
Gunman shot him.
All right. What do you mean when about supporting them at all?
Yes.
They go out and make a country.
Yes.
I'm just telling the Jamaican people that the police force was formed in 1865 after they murdered so many of our brothers in St. Thomas. It was called a police force. It comes with violence, it seems, embedded in the force. And recently we have heard that the crime rate is down, but the police killings are up. So when you look at how many persons have been killed in Jamaica, you have to count the 107 who have been killed by the police since the year has begun. And my view is that persons should be taken before the court. They should not be executed by the police force. Secondly, that body cameras should be mandatory. Why do you need to put a mask on and refuse a camera if what you're doing is lawful? The reason why you don't want to wear a body camera and you're putting on your mask with no numbers is because you are acting like a criminal. Where a man wants to rob a bank, he puts a mask on so that his identity can't be known. So the police are hiding their identity because they don't believe in accountability. If they are under attack, the cameras will protect them. Any man that pulls a gun at a police officer, his body camera will explain why he had to kill him. Why do you not want to wear a camera that can explain your lawful conduct? It is because your conduct, you contemplate to do evil.
And you represent the police at times, right?
Yeah, I've represented several police officers and I represent them passionately. And hear what? It is those police officers, my clients, who have confessed to me about some of the wrongdoings by their colleagues. So they are law-abiding police officers. But what is happening is now that the High Command is protecting the wrongdoers. And all they're putting out is the statistics of how crime is down. But what is up? Police crimes are up. Civilian crime is down. Isn't that an irony?
Some people say staging this protest, but they can't show the facts that the police are in fact carrying out extrajudicial killings.
They want facts to show that police are carrying out extrajudicial killings. I'll tell you this. Mario Dean's example will tell you that even in the police station, you can lose your life while those who are to serve and protect stand by or participate. So the Jamaican people know.
Commissioner says it's not the easiest thing to connect the body cameras to the system.
Oh yes, I've heard him say that. You can't connect it to the system. Well, I'll tell him that it is the taxpayers who have paid for those body cameras. And to put them aside is to waste public funds. The young men of Jamaica, the communities are anti-police because they see so much brutality put out on their friends, their cousins, their brothers, their mothers. So if we want the public to cooperate with the police must align themselves with the community, and that is the only way this crime is going to be solved. Because a young man who saw his brother murdered is not going to cooperate with the police, even if they are coming on a good mission.
We are seeing that a lot of persons are now aware of what's going on. What do you think will be the end game from this protest?
I think internationally the police have come under a microscope because George Floyd, there was a girl brave enough to film the George Floyd murder when they strangled him to death. So communities all over the world are taking a second look at law enforcement, who is paid by the public, but is taking down members of the public in cold blood. And sometimes I say, if they can do certain things in broad daylight, what are they doing under the cover of darkness?
What's the timeline for the infrastructure? Because one of the arguments from the commission is that there is not enough database. The database infrastructure, and I'm paraphrasing, it's not enough at the moment. So when is the timeline for that to be implemented?
Well, of course, I know that you'll have listened to the commissioner on the subject, and he has given an outline as to where we are in the JCF. I can tell you that work is being done, and work has been doing a lot of work around that, and it continues. But like Commissioner always says, that it's not just having a camera, it's to have the infrastructure to support it. And I think that's what he thinks is a priority.
The fact that we have dialogue happening within the country right now, I don't see it as anything negative. I think it's a glorious opportunity for constructive dialogue. From what I understand, the Minister of National Security is making a sectoral presentation today, and I think it's really an opportunity for us to hear from Dr. Horace Chang in terms of the status of increased deployment of body-worn cameras, the status of the procurement, and certainly I hope the public will join the call. Clear timelines for when the data storage infrastructure would be put in place. What are the resource constraints? Why it has not yet been done? Noting that we had a pilot project from 2012, noting that the US Embassy gave the country 45 million Jamaican dollars in 2012 thereabout, and we have had body-worn cameras since then. So I don't think in 2025 we should be hearing the same excuses that you need data storage infrastructure. We need clear timelines, and the Prime Minister is wearing blue. I hope that the blue is also solidarity with the people who are here today, the victims who are here today, saying that my son was killed at the hands of the police state. And I hope the Prime Minister in Parliament today would take this opportunity to say to the public, I'm not choosing sides, but I'm on the side of accountability. I'm on the side of human rights, and I'm on the side of body-worn cameras and police accountability.
What do you make of the argument about us versus them? Do you think that right now we need that set of divide, or we need all hands on it, and the feeling that the JFJ is against the police officer and against law and order in general?
I think that framing has been unfortunate, and we don't need that. We don't need polarization in our country. This is peace and love protest. If you look on our flyer, the biggest font size on that flyer was the peaceful protest. The end police violence was secondary. So the flyer itself, in how it designed, was very clear of our intention. We are law-abiding citizens here. You see that the former executive director and founder of JFJ, Dr. Carolyn Gomes, is here. You see that Susan Goff is here. You see several other noted Jamaicans here. We're law-abiding citizens. We don't break the law. We uphold the law. And that is what we're calling for from everyone. So this is not a time for division. This is a time to stand with our police officers. They have been so great in doing our duties. But what we're saying, for those who break the law, we have to ensure that you have strengthened accountability to ensure that we can have justice better realized for the family members here. Rayan Russell, justice for him. Mario Dean, justice for him. Kevin Riley, justice for him. Nakia Jackson, justice for him. The 15-year-old that we went to court for today, justice for him. The 17-year-old who was shot 5 times in the back, who had the wits to play dead. That is the only reason why he's still alive. Justice for him. And these are the voices of Jamaican citizens while we're here advocating for the body-worn cameras. We don't want conflicting accounts from people. What we want is solid evidence. In 2024, of the 189 police killings, the reason for one of those matters being able to have charges laid was because there was CCTV footage. Had we the words of the officers alone, we would be saying no to these people. But because of CCTV footage, we were able to have 2 officers being charged for 3 counts of murder, planting a firearm, and other offenses. So it emphasizes, reiterates, reaffirms JFJ call that camera footage is important to have justice realized for victims. And to the Jamaican people who are too quick sometimes to label everyone as criminal, any one of us can come in conflict and contact with the law. And let us not label people who live in inner city communities as criminal. And I want us to stand with all of them. Because you have many people in the inner city communities who are law-abiding citizens, and we have to stand with them. Due process is important. Check section 16 of your constitution, a beautiful document that outlines all of those matters.
I'm not a techie person, but there must be somewhere to store all that data. You cannot, should not just give persons body camera because you want to. It is said that they have to be wearing a body camera. No, and time does everything. So I believe that, in time we'll get there. In time we'll get there. Jeez.
So what would you advise the JFJ now to go the way forward?
I cannot advise JFJ.
No, what you do suggest?
I would want to suggest that dialogue. We can't throw out the baby we shouldn't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Dialogue, man. Police are humans, A lot of police have been killed, and I don't see them demonstrating. But as I said, there's a place in the society for JFJ. It's just that this is not the way to go, because dialogue, you have to start with dialogue. And the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Blake, is very approachable. And this is the police force of 10 years ago, it's not the same police force you have now. This police force is doing well. And I have no apologies for that. Police force is doing well. You have to support the police, man.
These people are upset about what they call a spike in police killings. There shouldn't be.
I will never tell anybody not to be upset when their loved ones get injured or harmed. What I'm saying, there is a process. Let the process work. Because you have INDECOM, you have BSI, you have a civilian oversight. This police force is the most police organization in the whole Caribbean. We have so many people watching just to see what is happening. So I don't believe that this is the way to go. But then, opinions are like false teeth. You're entitled to yours and me entitled to mine.
The police is there for citizen and citizen crime. So if you're harmed by another citizen, you call 119, you call the police. But if it is the police who is harming you, yes, you have INDECOM, but JFJ has been there with families all the way through the court system so that they can get justice. Because sometimes people are physically harmed. Right now we're representing a client, one of them under the SOE. When he was detained for over a year under SOE, to date, he has not yet been charged. JFJ, through its advocacy, through its attorneys, were able to bring the matter before the court, and we hope these individuals will get compensation, because guess what? When the young man was detained, his baby mother had to sell the car to get funds to maintain the family. The gentleman almost lost his eyesight. So let's not look at those individuals and say, you are criminals. No, that's not how law and order works. So when you ask about what JFJ does, we do state accountability, and you need a JFJ. Our history in human rights in Jamaica is firm. Every time I hear a government member talk about accountability, I would simply say to them, thank you, Jamaicans For Justice.